Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for another Friday Sews video where I'll talk about what I have been sewing, what I will be sewing and a little bit of life as well, and at the end a teeny tiny crochet update. So as always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen Sewing Room for setting up the Friday Sews hashtag. So thank you all very much for coming back, and if you're new to my channel you're very welcome. A huge thank you to those of you who watched my last week's Friday Sews video, in particular all the love you gave me on my new reef sweatshirt, and this is it. If you haven't seen last Friday Sews video, I'll pop a link up here and down below as well and you can catch up. But this is the reef sweatshirt and I made this. It's by Green Style Patterns. It's a hoodie version. It's got a half zip, it's got a lovely kangaroo pocket, my lovely sewing machine zip pull. Then on the inside then it's all bound and all beautiful on the inside, and I just love it. So it's a really interesting pattern. It's got raglan sleeves, oops, put that back, raglan sleeves, a little panel going down the front here. Then at the back, which I couldn't really show you last week because I was wearing it, it's got a little curved panel at the very top here, and then at the bottom this beautiful scooped hemband and these two side panels as well. I absolutely love it, but it came up a little bit too short. And on the instructions it did say to not lengthen or shorten it because it'd be a very difficult process, which I totally appreciate, but it did come up quite a bit too short on me. I'm still going to wear it because I absolutely love it, but I do have plans to make another one and I was wondering how I would do it. So an awful lot of you very kindly gave me some advice. The majority of you said to lengthen the hemband, to use the hemband as a shortened lengthen line, which I could do. It might throw off the proportions ever so slightly, but I can certainly see that that would work. So just make the hemband here a little bit wider, and then at the back you'd have a more pronounced kind of a swoop across here. However, what I'm going to try to do and see if I can get away with it. At the front, it would be very easy to lengthen it here because you just lengthen the front bodice. That would be fine. Your kangaroo pocket would just sit a bit lower. That's fine. Then at the back, what I'm going to try, I'm going to take out this side panel here. So I'm going to literally make the back all in one and see, can I just add in this little panel here? So I'm just going to lengthen it straight across here, just above the waistband. I know it's mucking around the pattern and I do apologise, but I'm going to see will that work, because they do recommend if you do need to lengthen or shorten it, then do it no more by ½ an inch. But I think I would need a good 1.5 to 2 inches to make it long enough for me. So I'm going to see, can I remove that? I won't tell if you won't, but we'll see will that work, because I think this is beautiful. I think the finishing on this is lovely. I think the hood is really nice. I love the zip. I love the little fold over bit here. I think it looks really nice. I love the style lines and I'd love to give this another go. So that is my little reef sweatshirt update. So thank you very much to everybody who gave me recommendations on that. So thank you. So I hope everybody's week was good. We are now in October, so happy October to everybody. That means we have finished September, and that means we have finished Sew Phoenix September 25. What a month. I absolutely loved it. I'll pop a link up here to the Sew Phoenix September playlist of all the vlogger tour. Amazing. Thank you to all the vloggers who took part in that. Really inspirational. I loved watching each and every one of them. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who entered our challenge. We had an absolute flurry on the last day. It was so much fun seeing everybody's makes come in, hearing everybody's stories, seeing what they've recreated. It was just fabulous. Thank you very much. And a massive thank you as well to all the sponsors of the fantastic prizes. So everybody's entry is now in, and I've got it all on a lovely spreadsheet. I've done up my stats, which I'll share with you at a later time, but we are going to be drawing the prizes at random this weekend, so the winners will be notified sometime this weekend what prize they've won and how they get in contact with the prize sponsor. So thank you for entering. It was just the most wonderful month. I had such a good time doing it in conjunction with my fabulous friends Sam, So Let's Sparkle and Catherine Server to Makery, and we had a wonderful response, and I'm really delighted that everybody enjoyed the challenge. It was just the best time, and we will be back next year. So thank you very much to all those people who entered, and I do hope you enjoyed it as well. So on that, you will have seen our reveal video, which is one of the, I think it's over on, yes, it's over on Catherine's channel, of what we made. And you'll have seen over there that I made my Colette crepe dress. So I'll pop in a picture here, which I absolutely love. At the weekend, I got up on Saturday morning and the lovely Mr. French Seams says, oh, I'll take the boys out to their classes if you want to do your own thing. So I said, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. So I was within 10 minutes of signing up to one of the Sew Hilly Jane Thready Set Go sessions on Saturday morning. So it was fabulous. So I jumped straight on that and I got another make cut out and made, and it is what I'm wearing. So this is a bonus Sew Phoenix make. We're sadly not eligible for any prizes, but I wanted to see could I remake this as well. In the plans and progress video, I think, which was on my channel, I wore a Pussybow blouse by Sew Over It that I made in about March 2017, and I remember just loving it. But it hasn't really stood the test of time, and it's a teeny tiny bit too small for me. But I remember saying on that video that I really wanted to recreate it, and on Saturday morning, as I was frantically running around the house looking for a project, I realised that I had this beautiful viscose, which is from Rainbow Fabrics. So you can use Rachel !VIP, and that gives you 20% off site-wide at Rainbow Fabrics. That's an affiliate link. Thank you very much. I remember I got this a couple of months ago, and it was kind of put away for a blousey type thing. I pegged it either for an Anderson blouse, which I made recently for Sew April blouse, and then it came to me that this would make a beautiful Sew Over Pussybow blouse. So I was able to get it all cut out. I reprinted my pattern, stuck it together, a PDF, didn't take long at all, got this all cut out and got the majority of it sewn up on the session. So I had such a lovely time on Saturday morning, and a big hello to any of the ladies who were on that session as well. So I recreated this. So this is the Pussybow blouse. They have since updated it, and I think you can buy an add-on pack, which is a button front, and it has a kind of front yoke with gathers at the front, which I think is lovely, and I think I would like to get, because it fits, but just about, if you know what I mean. So in my last version, I probably made about a size 10 grading to a 12. This time I made a 12 graded to a 14. So it's got this beautiful neckline here, and then it's got the little bow at the front, and then it's got long sleeves, and it comes down to it here. So I'm wearing ready to wear jeans. My beloved ash jeans are actually in the wash. So it is a beautiful blouse. I really like it. So the alterations I made, so I did make a size 12 grade into a size 14. My bust size folds in between a 10 and a 12 with Sew Over It, but I think it's better to go over, so I went to the 12. But the fit is quite nice. However, I did have to make some alterations. I removed about 2.5 inches from the length. I found it came up really long, so I chopped that off. And then the shoulders came very far down, so I actually ended up bringing in the shoulders here quite a bit, and just doing the sleeves as is, and I think it worked out quite well. It's a lot more comfortable now. I did actually recut the sleeves. I did actually have enough, which was great. The bow at the front is really pretty. I think gives a lovely detail, and then it's got lovely long sleeves with a little cuff. They do tell you to do an awful lot of hand sewing in this, so I did hand sew this neckline in on the underside, which is quite pretty. Then for this, I just top stitched the cuff, as I write, to be far more secure with my very dodgy hand sewing. So it's got a lovely cuff here, which ever so slightly gathered into, and then it's got a lovely little placket here and a little loop and a button. So I was thinking, how can I put in my beautiful Sew Phoenix September binding? And I had the tiniest bit left, having bound basically the whole of my crepe dress, and I made it into the rouleau loops. So this actually is the Specky seamstress binding that I just made into the rouleau loops, and I think it's really cute. Nobody will know it's there but me, but I think it's really cute. I can on this one see a bee and a star, and I think it makes a perfect rouleau loop. Then I was looking around for buttons, and I found two beautiful jasmine buttons. Do they match? Nope. One is green and pink, one is pink and red, but I love them. I think they're really pretty, and they go beautifully because the green definitely matches the green here, and I just love pink anyway. So I've got these at the very end of my jasmine buttons. I love them. So I've got two little buttons, and then which side to put on? This side. I have a little Sarah Hearts label that says made by me, which I really like. So very happy with this make. I really enjoy it. I think it's perfect. I've got it on today with jeans. I think it's very kind of work appropriate, office appropriate, but very smart as well. You could of course wear it with a nice skirt, but I just think it looks really nice with a pair of jeans. I was actually thinking that this would look very cute if I attached a lattice skirt onto this and made the waist elastic. I think would make a really pretty dress. So I'm very happy I rediscovered this pattern. I took huge attention to do the V here to make sure it was all neat inside. This time I did use an overlocker, which I didn't have the last time. So there are a couple of tweaks that I made to this to Sew Phoenix it, and I'm very happy. And I think I really like this pattern. So I was delighted to get that made this week as well. So that was a little bit of my sewing. Speaking of binding, did you see my Instagram where I got this through the post? This is incredible. So this is Specky seamstress binding, which you know I love. This is not an ad, I bought this, I just love their products so much. So they put up a few months ago that they were doing a run of custom binding, so I got onto them straight away and I said I think I would love custom binding. So they were very, very good. I worked with Laura and I worked with Cosy to come up with the design and the font and the colours and everything. They were just brilliant, and this arrived and I absolutely love it. So it is a good amount of it actually, and it is on a green background with pink writing, and it says the French seams, and it's got a flamingo. It is just brilliant. I love it so much, and I was just so happy to see it come through the post. It was exactly as I imagined, maybe even better than I imagined, but I just love it. So be prepared to see this on an awful lot of my makes, and I did actually manage to put it on a make now, which I'll show you in a mini moment. Speaking of Specky seamstress, they also popped up, honestly, they know their audience, honestly, they really do. Laura popped up something on Instagram there a few days ago, and it's called their seasonal gift box. So I jumped on it. They do 2 gift boxes, a big one and a small one. The big one has bias binding, labels, washi tape, stickers, and a little tin. Then the smaller one just has bias and labels. But I thought this would make the cutest little present for me. So I bought the big one straight away, because as well, they are now back shipping to Ireland, which is wonderful. I'm so delighted. So I treated myself to that little seasonal box, and I can't wait to see it pop in. Quick poll, quick show of hands. Should I wait until closer to Christmas, to the seasonal time of year, or should I open it the second it arrives through the lunchbox, it's just after lunch, through the post box? So answer on a postcard, should I wait or should I open it the second it arrives? We probably both know which one it is going to happen. So that's my little Specky seamstress update, and again, a massive thank you to the Specky seamstress for doing the fabulous binding for our challenge. So that's what came through the post, and that is hopefully what is going to come through the post very, very soon. What else have I got to show you? So I did a little bit of sewing that wasn't garment sewing. So I've done a little bit of sewing recently. You might have seen my Charlie jacket. That's from So Dressmaking. It is very, very, very nearly finished. I was able to find the nice little buttons. I'll see, can I show you these? So they're kind of green and shiny. I think they're really, really nice. So I'm looking forward to putting them on the jacket. I think I got about 7 of those, so 2 for the cuffs and about 5 for the front of it. So I'm going to be putting those on the jacket very, very soon, so I can now wear it. I have been wearing it out with no buttons. It's not ideal. The cuffs flap around a little bit. So that is one thing I've been sewing. Then I've been sewing this. I've been sewing my Sew Phoenix dress as well. So I wanted a few little crafty makes. So I decided to make a bag for my knitting. So not my knitting, my crochet. I will have a crochet update for you shortly. Do not fear, this is still sewing. And I wanted a little bag to put all my yarn in, so I made this. This is the Cosy pouch, and it is by the lovely Sarah from Incomplete Stitches. So I was looking around for a little kind of knitting bag, crochet bag, project bag kind of thing, and this popped up. If you watch my channel for any length of time, you know that I love Sarah's patterns. I think they're absolutely fabulous. I've made so many of her bags and her tote bags and her evening bags, all that good stuff, but I hadn't ever made this. So I went on her website. It was on sale, which is even better, and it is called the Cosy pouch. It comes in 3 sizes. This is the largest size, and then they just get smaller and smaller, so I think the smallest one is probably palm sized, but I think this would be perfect as a project bag. It comes in a variety of views. You can just do the plain base here, or you can do this diagonal base, which I did, which is, you can see all the diagonal lines here. You can do the base here with a wavy line, and then another one with a kind of circular thing as well, but I think this one is lovely because I showed off these 2 fabrics. These fabrics I got during the summer from Celtic Fusion Fabrics when I went down to their lovely shop for their open day during the summer. And I picked up these, and I think flamingos and cherries work really well together. So I put the cherries on the bottom as a little accent, and then the flamingos on this part and the top, and then I've just got cherries on the bottom as well. So this is all quilted, and then this is quilted as well. I decided to make life interesting for myself, and I quilted it with metallic thread, which actually behaved itself very, very well. I was delighted. So then you've got all the base, and that's got I put bag foam in that. No, I just put interfacing in this, and I put bag foam in the bottom to make it nice and sturdy. Then it's got this lovely drawstring. Sarah's instructions are just perfect, and then every single notch lines up, and it's just, the patterns are just brilliant. I love them. It's got this lovely drawstring at the top. I just found this cord in my stash, and I found this toggle randomly in my button box. Didn't even know I had a toggle. It was great. And then I've got all my little wool on the inside. So it's quite big, quite roomy. I then had to add a little label. So this is a Sarah Hart's label, and it says handmade with a little tomato pincushion that my lovely friend Christine Sews a Lot very kindly gave me a pack of these when we met in real life last month, August. And then the piece de resistance is my fabulous binding. So I was going along with this project and I was coming to the end, and you have to stack everything inside and do the seam. I was thinking, that's going to have an exposed seam on the outside. And then I kept reading and it said, oh, gather your bias. I was like, oh, it calls for bias binding. Didn't even register with me. So I was looking around, I was like, will I make binding? And then I thought, no. And I literally looked across and this was winking at me. So I was able to put on my new binding, and I love how this looks. I think it looks incredible. So I was able to put on my lovely French seams binding on the top. So this is basically me in a bag. I think it's got labels, it's got binding, it's got flamingos, it's got cherries, it's got quilting, it's got glitter, everything, and it's full of yarn. Tick, 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 tick. So loved making this. I think it's a fabulous pattern. I will definitely be making more of these. Be beautiful as presents, lovely little storage things for all manner of stuff. I think it's absolutely adorable. So I loved making that. That was one little bag. Pop that down here. The next thing I made, so I kind of referenced it last week that we're coming close to Halloween. So now we're in October. Our house is fully Halloweenized. The boys have put up all our Halloween decorations. The house has turned into one giant pumpkin. So Halloween costumes. This year, my boys want to be sharks. The two of them have just become obsessed with sharks. Every single shark program, we have shark jigsaws, we have shark toys, everything. It's adorable. I love it. So Older French Seams has been learning all about every kind of sharks. I did not know there was so many sharks in the world. So they want to be sharks for Halloween, which is fine. In walks my usual ultimate costume creator from Peekaboo Patterns that I've used as dinosaurs, I've used as zogs, all that good stuff. So that is now going to be used as a shark this year. Myself and Older French Seams have drawn out our little picture of what we want included as a shark. Do we want teeth? Do we want jaws? Do we want a fin? All that good stuff. So I've now ordered that fabric for 2 sharks, and I've put in an order with Driesenstoffen just because I can get all different kinds of jersey and all kinds of matching cuffing, all that good stuff. So that's been shipped and hopefully is winging its way to me very soon because I need to get this done and dusted. So the boys are just loving sharks these days. And I'm making a short story very, very, very long. Anyway, suffice to say, I was looking at Studio 77. I can't remember why. And I discovered that she has a free shark pencil case pattern. That is the point of my story. Thank you for staying with me. And I thought, wouldn't it be lovely to make 2 shark pencil cases? Because I'm a complete glutton for punishment. Enter Thready Set Go again, because I jumped on another lovely So Hayley Jane session during the week as well. And I made up 2 shark pencil cases, and they are adorable. It's a free pattern. So it was a pattern in Spanish that Emma from Studio 77 has now put in English and made a sew along for on her YouTube channel, and it's a free pattern and it's just fabulous. So here are my 2 shark pencil cases. Aren't they adorable? I think they are so cute. So if we unzip one mouth, you can see that I filled them with pencils as well here. So these are so cute. I made life quite difficult for myself because I decided to use canvas. So I had this canvas left over. I made my dad a apron for Father's Day this year, and I had this navy canvas left over. I made life quite difficult for myself because canvas is quite bulky and because it frays a lot, but we got there in the end. So every piece is cut out, and every piece has fusible fleece as well, so it's quite sturdy. Then the lovely zip is actually a navy zip that I got recently from the Little Sewing Tree, so it was perfect to have a navy zip and a little zip pull. Then I did actually manage to find 4 matching buttons in my button stash. She calls for, say, safety eyes, that kind of stuff, but I think buttons worked absolutely fine. And then they're both lined with Lego fabric, which is left over from their Adam Sews Acorn backpacks. So it's using up lots and lots of bits of scraps. And then on the back, they both have Make Waves labels, which I think are Little Rosy Cheeks. I'm pretty sure, if they're not, I'll put them down here, but I'm pretty sure they're Little Rosy Cheeks. But I thought the Making Waves was quite clever, and Older French Seams got the pun, which was marvellous. So these are just adorable. The pattern is a bit tricky, just lining up all the zips, and you have to sew these and then turn them inside out and then press them and then top stitch them. So you've got the little fin at the back, and then you've got 2 side fins, and then you've got the dorsal fin. So these are quite tiny. They have fusible fleece, and it is canvas, so that was a bit tricky trying to press them out. I was poking it with all kinds of awls and pens and everything to try and get them properly pressed out. and I ended up snipping the seam allowance with a pinking shears, which really helped. But I think these are so cute. I think they're utterly adorable. My boys love them. They're well impressed with them, and yeah, I think they're absolutely adorable. So if you are in need of a shark pencil case, I would highly recommend this, and I will link it down below. It's a really fun project. So that was my other little bit of shark sewing. So that is everything I got done this week. What are my plans? So I'm going to finish off my Charlie jacket with my buttons. I'm hoping that my sewing machine plays ball adding the buttonholes. As I said, I've ordered that stuff for Halloween, so hoping that arrives and I'll be able to get going on their costumes. I also ordered, if you remember, this beautiful fabric that my lovely friend Anne-Marie kindly gave me. I'm making my boys t-shirts for this, and I ordered some kind of off-white cotton jersey with some matching ribbing so I can make them the little t-shirts, because I've got the what am I using for them? What is it in the Adventure Waves and Wild Adventure Raglan t-shirt jumper, so I'm going to get started on doing that for my boys as well. That wouldn't take long, so I'm just looking for the fabric to arrive for that as well. So that is going to be my plans. So moving on, I think we will now move on to the knitting and crochet portion of the video. So if you want to leave it there, thank you very much for watching so far, and I do hope you enjoyed it. And we'll now move on to the crochet aspect of the video. So goodbye to some and stay tuned for others. Here we go. So to give you a knitting update, there is no knitting update. I'll be starting my Christmas cast on sometime towards the end of November, so no real update on that. The big update comes on crochet. So where did I put my cozy pouch here? So you'll have seen that in here I have my beautiful yarn that I'm going to be using for my Christmas crochet jumper. Pop it up here. It's the Iron Lamb Granny Festive jumper that I'm knitting with my lovely sister, and we are starting in October, which is now. So I started it, well, I attempted to start it, and I was being very, where will I put this? I was being very well behaved, and I did the swatch, the tension swatch. So I should have actually done this last week, but never mind. I did my tension swatch. So it gives you guidelines on this, and then in her pattern it gives you a video on how to do a pattern for the tension swatch, and it shows you how to measure your tension swatch as well. So I measured it, and it's perfect for rows lengthwise. Yes, lengthwise, but it's not across here. So it should be 10 centimeters for 4.5 granny stitches, or 3 trebles, UK trebles. Mine is not, mine is a bit short, about 1 centimetre too short. So they recommend sizing up to a 4.5mm hook. I didn't have one, but I have now sourced one. So I went to a local haberdashery to me, and I treated myself to a new 4mm hook, because the one that came with my summer Sirdar crochet along had just the crochet hook. It didn't have this nice kind of ergonomic handle, which I do like, so I treated myself to a new 4mm. However, for this I think I need a 4.5mm, so I treated myself to one of those, and this one is, as I check, red. So I'm going to be a very good crocheter, and I'm going to try again the tension square with my 4.5mm hook, and hopefully that works, because then I would love to get started on the jumper, because the stitch looks really pretty. I love this green colour. Is it upside down? No. I love this green colour, and the way the trebles look, I think it's really pretty, so I'm really keen to get started on it. So hopefully I will get started on that very soon. I've also been doing other little bits and bobs of crochet, because why not? For those people who have been with me for a number of years, cast your mind back, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, when I went through a massive phase of making these pumpkins. Who remembers those? They're adorable. They're just little strip of crochet that you go into the back loop to make that nice rib, and then sew them together, stuff it, and then make this little I-cord in green. And I made so many of these pumpkins. I loved making them. These pumpkins are now very 2023, because the 2025 pumpkin in the French Seams household are these. And I totally forgot to show you these last week. This is by a free pattern by Happy Berry Crochet, who actually was the lady who did the bat applique pattern that I put on my Halloween CAL blanket. She came up with this free pattern for it. It's a little coaster. I think they're far too pretty to hide under a mug. I've just got them scattered about the house, as you do. It's a little magic circle, and then you work in the round to make a little pumpkin shape, and then you finish off with this adorable little spiral frond, stalk, whatever you like to call it, and I think these are adorable. So in true Rachel form, I've now made millions of them. So that's my little rabbit hole for pumpkins. I did actually make another little crochet thing, and I have the lovely Nikki to thank for this. So I've got to know Nikki a little bit through various socials, which is lovely. And she obviously knows I like crochet, and she had sent me the cutest tutorial on how to make pocket hugs. And so I've made a couple of them, and they are adorable. So there's this little one here. So it's a little circular guy with little hands, and he's holding a heart. And then, so I've made a few of them with big googly eyes that I've just stuck on, and then a few of them have small googly eyes. I can't decide which one I prefer, the small eyes or the big eyes, but they're just both adorable. So I've made a couple of those. My boys love them as well. I think they'll be very, very cute just to pop into little presents. I think they're really, really sweet. So again, I don't have safety eyes. I just have in my Tommy Tippy a trusty little thing of googly eyes, which is a bit weird, and then I literally just use this to stick them on. So they're not heavy duty crochet items, but I think they do the job, and I think they're absolutely adorable. So again, I'll link that down below as well. So thank you very much, Nikki. They are super, super, super cute. So I think that rounds us off for a Friday sews. So 25 minutes. I hope I didn't keep you too long. Thank you very, very much for sticking with me through my whole video, and I really, really do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions on anything I've spoken about today or anything else you need to ask me, please leave me a comment in the comment box below. You know how much I love having the chats, and I love responding to each and every one of you. If you like this video, I would very much love it if you could give me a thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing. I am getting so close to 8,000 subscribers, and it makes me very, very happy that people watch my video and subscribe to my video and come back to watch again my videos, and it makes me very, very happy. So thank you very, very much. So if you haven't subscribed, now is your opportunity, and yeah, thank you very, very much. So I shall leave it there for now. I hope you get some time for some lovely, lovely sewing over the weekend, or something crafty, and I will see you all again very soon in another video. Take care, everyone. Bye.